Hi everyone. Hi. That's my second time trying to record a podcast. The first one was yesterday, and I yapped for like 40 minutes, and for like 15 out of those 40 minutes, I was yapping about how long I can yap. So this kind of thing, and I was very satisfied considering that I didn't have a script. I still don't have a script. But considering that I didn't have a script, um, I kind of like managed to really have some line in the end and finish very nicely and do all that stuff. So let's see how it goes today. I hope that in the end my video, this one will not be corrupt because I will quit recording podcast if it is. Like if my second try is gonna be like the video is gonna be corrupt, I'm gonna be like, fuck that shit. I will never be an influencer. I mean, I'm not trying to. The thing is that I might want to post it, like publish it somewhere, not publish, but like upload it on YouTube or something like this, or I don't know, like make it public. But I don't think I want to be an influencer or a blogger. And I mean, I don't have anything against them. I think some of the influencers are very cool. I don't support everyone, but I think that like influencers should exist. People should share their thoughts, and in the end, this is what I'm doing, right? So, like, I'm sitting here now saying that I'm not an influencer or not a blogger because I have zero audience and I'm no one now. But initially, what I'm doing initially essentially what I'm doing is the same what influencers do, right? So like the only difference between us is that I don't have audience. No one knows about me, and maybe that's good, and maybe no one should know about me. And this leads me like to thinking about who has the right to record podcasts. Is this even a podcast? Because it's just me yapping. But like we expect the like leaders, I don't know, not leaders, but like people um who are publicly recognized, acknowledged as celebrities, to share their opinion. We want to know their opinion. We want to know what they think about, what they like, what they dislike, what happens in their life. And then it leads us to thinking that, like, their opinion has more power and more right to exist than, like, my opinion. Because I'm no one, right? I didn't succeed as they did. So why would I fucking share my opinion on the internet? Because no one knows who I am. Why the fuck should anybody listen to me, right? Right, but in the end, when you think about it, you're the same person. Like, I am the same person as them. We all have the same kind of life. Yeah, we do different things, and we have different levels of recognition, and we earn different type of money. Like, I don't know, they might earn like millions. That sounds like such a huge amount of money. And yeah, and they can be like just popular, but in the end, and I'm not, right? And I'm like, what I'm doing, I'm living my boring life and doing all this like routine stuff, like cooking rice, I don't know, and they can afford to go out every day. And so that kind of makes them more, I don't know, that gives them the right to share their opinions. And I don't have this right because I don't have this like type of recognition in the world. But in the end, again, we live the same fucking life. We wake up every day. We have some kind of tasks to do every day. We think about stuff every fucking day and we go through our life more or less the same. Yeah, like the circumstances are different, and the people that surround us are different, but in the end, we experience all the same shit. We experience friendships, we experience relationships, we experience trends and style and fashion and all of that stuff happening in the world the same, and we watch same movies and think same things about these movies, or maybe we think different things about movies, but we think about these movies, this kind of stuff. So when you think about it like this, you think, why are they expected to share their opinions and I'm not? And it's not like that everybody should listen to me. It's more like, why does everybody want to listen to them? Why do people seek it? Why are they more interested in opinions of those people and not mine? Why their opinions have the right to exist and mine not? Not to exist, but like to exist on the web. I don't know, on the net? How is it right to say? So, disclaimer, I'm not a native speaker. As you might have figured it out already, right? I'm not a native speaker. I don't speak. I mean, I speak English in my everyday life, but it's not like I really care about the rules, and I don't make any mistakes. And I have IELTS C2 certificate, and I'm like, cool. No, I'm not. I have no idea what kind of level I have, and my English is enough for me to survive in Germany and speak with my friends and do my work. But like, I know that I would say things that natives would not say. So yeah, if you're a native and you hear some kind of mistake that I make, please don't think that I'm stupid. Please. Yeah. So yes, thinking about that, of what I talked earlier, is that I think I have the same right to share my opinion online as everybody else does, and no one has to listen to it. That's it. Full stop. Period. Um, so yeah, let the show begin. Uh, and who knows? Who knows where it will lead? I don't know. I feel like I already fucked this episode up. Like, I feel that it is not flowing as it was flowing yesterday. And to be honest, yesterday the whole thing happened super spontaneously. I didn't plan to record podcast. I didn't plan it all at all, and like I had no idea how to do that, and it just happened. The thing is that I had an idea that maybe sometime in the future I will write a project that will be like about making podcast, and I will make a podcast with people and invite guests and talk with guests about it. And it never came to that, but it's still like, it doesn't mean that it never will. I still think about it. But it seemed like such a big thing. It seemed like a whole project that needed preparation, like a very big and long preparation stage, and writing all the scripts and writing like the topics of episodes and thinking about who to invite and what to talk about and what questions to ask, and then like, producing the stuff, being a real producer. And then I never thought of actually recording my own podcast, like for myself, because that one I was thinking to do it about youth work, like something that I do in my everyday life, and something that like I have my career in. So like I had interest in doing that, but I never thought about recording my own podcast as a individual and not as a youth worker, and not as a like, not as part of my job, but like as part of my personality and identity and being just my whole self and not just small part of it. I mean, you always hear like jokes online, or you have like these jokes with your friends that like, wow, we yap so much, we have to start our own podcast. And I mean, sometimes I have these feelings with my friends, but it's like always like, it's always jokes, you know, it's never serious. And you always make fun of it because you see like bunch of men on the internet just sitting together and talking shit. And like, that's fine. Again, you have the right to do it, but like, recording your own podcast became such a cliche that, you know, like, it became something that like, that you would be made fun of if you did, you know. It's like, it's now in the, at least in my bubble, recording podcasts as just sharing your opinion was like something very, I don't know, it's not bad, but like, everyone can record a podcast, you know, and that's what I'm doing. But like, then you kind of like, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's kind of like, everybody gets to share their opinion, and like, who the fuck are you to share your opinion? So yes, I never thought about it. But then I watched an episode of another podcast, and I liked it so much, and it looked so cozy, and it looked completely like, it didn't look unprofessional, but it looked like not professionally made. It looked cozy, it had like home vibes, and the person was just sitting and talking and yapping and sharing their opinion. And I was like, fuck, I want to do that. Because one day before that, I was just like recording myself on the same fucking camera at like 12 at night, just yapping for half an hour about my feelings and sharing my feelings on the camera, just because I wanted to capture that moment and yap on the camera to have something to watch in 3 months and be like, oh wow, so many things changed. And then all these things they just happened, and I was like, I can record my podcast. Like, nothing stops me from doing that, right? Right. And I was like, what do I have to do? What do I need to record a podcast? And apparently, I had everything I need. I had a phone with a camera. You don't need a professional camera because fuck professional camera. I have a microphone, the audio interface, like, that I can connect my microphone to, and I have my laptop. And I'm sure that you can do like without half of it. Like, honestly, with new phones, like, you can have just like cable headphones with a microphone and just a phone and never use anything else. And so I just sat down. I was like, would be fun to record an episode now without any preparation. And then this would be fun, haha, became a real thing. And I did everything, and I sat down and started recording. And I recorded an episode, and then the video was corrupt. So, yes, today I'm sitting here again and giving it a second try and not giving up on it because I enjoyed it yesterday, and I hope I can do it from time to time. What are my objectives of recording my own podcast? You know, I'm coming from the youth work background. That's something that I've been doing for like past 5 years of my life. And specifically like facilitation training and like doing all of that stuff. And the thing that I learned to do is facilitate my whole life. I was talking to my friend, and this is like my friend slash colleague, like, so she's doing the same stuff that I do. And she said, you know, these facilitation skills that we have from facilitating like projects, they really help in your dating life. Like, you come to the date and you say, so what are you looking for? What are your expectations? What are your fears? What can you contribute to this? And that's why this is something that I'm doing here. I have to set my objectives. Why am I recording this podcast? I'm facilitating my own process of recording a podcast and doing this whole thing. So, objective number one, for me, it seems like my camera is somewhere there, but it's here. Objective number one, uh, I want to yap. I love yapping and I want to yap and have this yapping recorded to have something to come back to in some time. So, creating kind of like a live journal, something that is documented and well documented, like, not just my handwriting, but also my mimics, the words that I'm using, my level of English, like all of that stuff, have it documented and have it somewhere to come back to in some time. The thing is with documenting is that I'm not such a great like diary writer. I had diaries when I was like small, when I was like 10, 11, because it was cool to have diaries, and I was trying to do that, but I was never like a regular writer. And for me, writing down my thoughts and journaling is something that is hard for me. And I cannot explain why. I cannot grasp why exactly. So on one hand, it is something that the fact that my thoughts they jump from one topic to another and it's hard to document it because it feels like when you're writing you have to be very chronological and very logical, and I cannot do that because I feel like my thoughts are jumping from one topic to another and it is like important, and I don't want to break this process. I don't want to like artificially stop it to finish one thought. Um, and it's like taking too much time. It taking too much time to write it down. Another thing, I don't really like writing, and I'm not really like a paper person. So I never have like notebooks or like things to keep my tasks on. Like I keep it in my calendar on my phone, but I never write it down because it's just something that I never come back to. I'm not a person that will carry a notebook with them and a pen and really writing it down and then like having a mess if you make a mistake. And I don't mind making mistakes and just writing over or doing something like this. I'm not a perfectionist in this meaning, but it's just it creates a mess and I don't really like it. And I think I'm very structured person. I'm very organized person, and I think that my brain works very like technically, like very mathematically. I don't know how to describe it. Like it is very organized. It is very structured, like stru- structured and strategic. Yes, but notebooks don't fit in this system. Notebooks are too messy for me. So that's why digitalizing it is way, way easier. So this is like objective number one, to have a documented diary of something that, of my opinions, of something that is important to me, and to have it somewhere that I can come back to and rewatch. Objective number two, it gets harder because like the most important thing is like number one. But I think I want to be interested in more things. It kind of forces you to have opinions about something. And I think people have like too many opinions. Like you don't have to have an opinion on everything. But sometimes I feel like I am very culturally uneducated. And maybe recording a podcast will not force me to get culturally educated in the sense as watching movies or reading more books or something like this. But I think it will force me to be more aware, at least, of the culture that is now around. And I guess this is one of the things that I want to have. I want to decide, okay, I have to record a podcast. No, I don't even want it to be like this. I want to think of something and be like, this is worth talking about it. Like my even smallest interest or smallest life change or smallest realization or smallest habit, it is worth to be talked about. Like talking about my hair. Does anybody care about my hair? I mean, couple of people were like, not couple of people, almost everybody were like, blue hair. But then it was like, they did it one time, like, blue hair, and then like it stopped and it disappeared, you know? And I want to capture this thing. I want to capture my experiences and capture something that I'm going through and something that I'm like experiencing again, to give it like the power to exist, the right to exist, something like this. So it's not at all about being culturally aware and culturally educated, but it's more about like, mm, I still feel like there is some kind of like connection to culture in it that I'm trying to explain how it is connected, but we're all surrounded by culture, right? So every choice, just as much every choice is political, it is cultural, because culture and politics are connected. So this is what I mean, right? So like connect my choices and connect my life to everything that's going on in the world, and to give it the right to exist being recorded. And then the objective number 3, it's something that I realized while I was talking about the objective number 2, is to actually do something publicly and try to at least lower my bar for publishing something, because I don't really connect with the thought that I'm perfectionist, because I'm not. Um, but yesterday, while I was recording the podcast, I was like, maybe I just have too much of a producer brain and producer approach rather than a creator approach to what I'm doing. And I feel like everything that I'm doing needs to be structured again, needs to have purpose. That's why I'm talking about my objectives now. Like, I need to give it the purpose, you know? Needs to have a plan. You have to think about the future of it. You have to shape it as a project. It always has to have frames and to dos and all this like structures again and plans again and future thoughts. So I think I have too much of a producer approach to what I'm doing, which leads me to never actually publishing it, never actually making it visible to people, even though I want to. And I feel like I want to go with the flow. I want to do something without a plan and just let it exist. Or maybe have a plan, but at least do something for once for real, and not just plan and have everything in the preparation phase and then never actually implementing it, or like implementing it but never disseminating it. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking in the project manager terms. But yeah, it's like I feel like everything that I'm doing never actually reaches the goal of it. And it's sad. And that's why, I don't know, I really want to do something. I want to push myself to be less producer me and more creative me. So, yes, let's hope it works out. And let's hope that I don't decide to publish this episode only after I make a plan for 10 next episodes and record at least 5 of them, so they have a plan and they are ready to blow up and I become popular. So, yes, I don't want to do it to become popular. I don't want to do it for it to blow up. Would be nice. Or maybe it wouldn't be. I haven't really thought about it. But this is not the purpose. I'm not trying to become famous with my podcast. It's not how I envision my creative self being, like, not the top of the my creative career. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that I want to try, something that I think I'm good at, or might be good at. I mean, I'm good at yapping. So yeah. And I think this is the objective number 4, to just yap and not be bored and just not to collect every thought inside and just talk it out loud and maybe get the solutions to, or like just figure it out while talking about it, um, because it helps to talk. And unfortunately I don't have an opportunity to talk to someone for 1 hour every day in my life, like, you know, really talking, like letting yourself be. I want my camera to replace my friend. And maybe just become one of my friends. Not replace them, but become one of my friends. Yes. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know like, how long it will take for me to actually edit it. I don't know how many episodes I record. Maybe this one will be the only one. Maybe I will be like, fuck, nah, yapping on camera, not my thing. Or maybe I will be like, fuck, editing, the most boring shit ever. I'm like 99% sure that this will be like the case. I'm not good with video editing. But let's give it a fucking try. Let's just give it a fucking try. You know, yesterday I was sharing it with my friend that, like, I was recording this episode and that it didn't save and all of that stuff, and I remembered that I used to have a YouTube channel when I was 12, 13, and I was making videos on my very, very old phone in my very, very old apartment when I was 13, living in a very, very small town. And I remember that it was hilarious. I remember that it was bad and that it was cringy. I remember that it was like, this is how I remember it. But back then, I was doing it. I was fucking doing it. I decided on the topic of the video. I made a small script. I recorded the video. I edited the video. I published it on YouTube. And I'm sure people were making fun of me. But I saw myself being a blogger, a YouTuber, because it was popular. It was like 2016, you know. And I rewatched those videos yesterday. And meanwhile, they were cringe. And meanwhile, they were something that I would be ashamed of showing someone. In the end, I did show it to my friend, and it was fine. And I mean, I was 13, come on. But you know, it was so nice to look at myself on those videos and be like, wow, first of all, that was 8 years ago. 8 fucking years ago. I look so much different now. I look so much different now. So much shit happened to me. I live in different country, and that Sonya that was recording those videos, she had no fucking idea what would happen to me. And after watching those videos, I realized how much I fucking love myself, that I take care of myself. Like, it was such a nice moment. I was just like, wow, I love myself so much. I went through so much. So many things happened to me, and I'm still here. And here I am again, 8 years later, recording a video and maybe uploading it to YouTube. Maybe. Or maybe not. But it feel it felt like something that I wanted to do, and I was doing it, and that maybe I was not wrong, that I really liked it. Maybe I did have future. I was just too cringe at 13. But come on, I'm cringe, but I'm free, right? So maybe this is cringe. Maybe in 8 years again, I will look at it and think, oh my god, such a cringe thing. She was like recording her fucking podcast. Really? But come on, whatever. So, this is it. Maybe. Or maybe not. It's like 35 minutes now. And I'm questioning how long should a podcast episode be. Like, it's up to me to decide, right? And again, this is my producer self gets in the game being like, okay, like, can we really call a 20-minute episode a podcast? Because I'm sure that after the editing, it will be like 20 minutes, maybe 25. So I'm like, okay, we need to be professional. We need to be good from the very beginning and have things to talk about, all the things in the world, and have a script, even though you don't have a script now. But it has to be like at least 40 minutes, meaning that it has to be about 55 minutes raw. Then we can make it. Then we can publish it. And even if it's bad, at least it's like 40 minutes and you can call it a podcast. Can it be 20 minutes? Can I yap for only 20 minutes? Is it allowed? And it's like, of course it's fucking loud. Like, if I don't have anything to talk about, if I feel like I want this to be it, I want to stop now because I feel like I reached to like the end of the topic and I don't want to start another topic. I feel like this is like very logical ending for it. Can it be it? Of course it can be it. But I feel like I have the idea of how it should be, of what is good numbers wise, and I have to at least reach that, you know, to maybe to call myself a real podcaster or do some, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing it. Like, why do I need to do that? Okay, whatever. So if I think that this is the end of the video, do I have the right to now put the like recorded button and to stop now? Now I feel like I need to like really lead to the end and be like, okay, this is like, make it beautiful. But in the end, I'm just trying, right? In the end, I don't know what is good and what is bad. And why don't I just try? Well, I guess that's it. I guess today I have a very abrupt ending just after 35 minutes of raw video. And I guess it will not be perfect, but I guess my producer part of identity can go fuck itself because I'm just trying, and my purpose is to talk about something record it, and save it somewhere. And if I think that it's it, then that's it. And I guess I'll see you the next time, sometime in the future. Maybe. We don't know yet.